this is Dr. Brendel. Welcome to LEAD415 Organizational Development and Change. You know, OD is all about helping organizations anticipate and manage change. Unfortunately, change is coming at us faster than ever. Since the inception of the assembly line for the Ford Model T, we've become obsessed with faster, better, cheaper. But even the best laid plans of mice and men, well, you know the rest. Change isn't always easy. It's also way too easy to get caught up in. We'll entertain many of the theories that have defined the field, but more valuably, in my opinion, we'll bridge theory and practice and discover how consultants, managers, and community leaders actually manage change. Alas, technology is one culprit we can't ignore. It drives changes that baffle the mind, and yet it tends to make change easier. A paradox, no? Well, we'll get into that too. Yet in the relatively brief history of organizations following the Industrial Revolution, virtually no organization has survived. Just think about it. Organizations expire into bankruptcy. They fall from corruption and greed. They're raided, bought out, and sometimes transformed into another organization altogether. We'll investigate organizations beyond survival skills by considering strategies for sustainability. The root of the word organization, that is, organ, comes from the Latin organum, which translates into an instrument or tool that executes a particular function. When we think of the word organism, we might imagine the task and inner workings of a single cell. In order to survive and thrive, cells have to be tough, but not too rigid. Organisms and organizations have to develop a healthy relationship with a changing external environment, battle toxins from within and from without, and absorb the right nutrients. The starting point for our discussions is that organizations act like a self-regulating system with inputs, throughputs, and outputs, as well as a feedback system to let us know how we're doing. If DNA sets the task for each cell, an organization's mission sets forth its very purpose. We'll talk about how to develop an organization's line of sight, that is, matching up the organization's vision and mission with the small day-to-day activities of every employee. And we'll discuss how we can turn ideas into strategies, as well as how to execute and reward successes while learning from failures. I'll even provide you with a typical framework for managing change. If you like what you've heard so far, I think you're going to love what the rest of this course has to offer. In addition to talking about the challenge of change and changing the culture, we'll give you an insight into what it's like to be an OD practitioner, diagnose processes, overcome resistance, and intervene, and ultimately how to develop teams. Well, are you excited yet? As soon as I was introduced to this subject, I couldn't put it down, and I assure you, regardless of your background, industry, or standing, you'll be able to apply these techniques not just in traditional organizations, but even in smaller organizations like churches, clubs, and even families. In OD, the big picture is absolutely critical. Understanding the larger purpose of an organization and helping employees see outside of their roles, even if they are virtual experts in using the tools provided to them, like Mr. Chaplin over here, overlooking the bigger picture can have dire consequences.
And the monkey he got drunk and sat on the elephant's trunk. The elephant sneezed and fell on his knees, and that was the end of the monk.
I hope you've enjoyed this course overview, or big picture, for LEAD415. If you're currently enrolled or your appetite has been increased by watching this video, please feel free to contact me directly to learn more.